Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. Really glad you could join Bailey and I today out here in the vegetable garden. It's a beautiful day here in Pennsylvania, Zone 6. You know, we're early July now and the tomatoes have really been growing and flourishing. And so this morning I wanted to share with you some tips and ideas on how you can support your indeterminate tomato plants. So thanks for joining me today. So out here in my garden, you know, there's two types of tomatoes plants that I grow. I have the determinate and the indeterminate. And you know, that can be a little confusing at first. Well, the determinate tomatoes are really your bush type tomatoes. And then your indeterminate are the variety that they're a vining variety. They'll just continue to grow right up into the frost. And so I have here some big boy tomatoes. Behind me I also have some yellow pear tomatoes. I also grow the sun gold cherry tomatoes, and they're the indeterminate tomatoes. In fact, I grew some sun gold cherry tomatoes last year up and over my garden structure, and by the time it grew up the side, over the roof and down, it was probably like 14 feet long before the end of the season. And I didn't trim those or prune them. I just let them grow wild, and you know, it was just amazing how many cherry tomatoes those plants produced. But these here, the indeterminate ones, I have what I call the rope and twist method supporting these. Before we take a closer look at how I support these indeterminate tomatoes, I thought we'd first go take a look at some of the determinate or bush type tomatoes to show you the other type of tomatoes that I have in my garden. So let's head over there to my 18-foot by 30-foot raised garden section. So these determinate or bush type tomatoes are over in this section right over there. And I support these with a heavy-duty tomato cage. They're about 3 feet long, maybe 42 inches. But they're the heavy-duty variety because they do have to end up supporting a lot of weight. And so some of the varieties I have here in these determinate tomatoes are the Amish paste tomato here. And then I also have over here, I have some Mountain Spring tomatoes, and I think I have one other variety in there. But these are the bush type tomatoes. What's nice is we can a lot, and so my wife and I, we end up canning like 100 quarts of tomato sauce using our peppers from the garden and our basil. And so these bush type tomatoes, they pretty much come in all at the same time, where again the indeterminate, you know, they'll continue to grow, and you can harvest them right up into the frost. And you know, I always would recommend that you grow both types so that you can also have tomatoes right up until the frost. And so these are the bush type tomatoes. They get about 3 feet to 4 feet high at the most, and these are really doing well in the garden. So let's head back over to where I'm supporting these indeterminate tomatoes. And so over here where these indeterminate tomatoes are, you're going to need some sort of support above the tomatoes in order to use the rope and twist method. But I have found this method for me just to be the easiest, quickest way to support these tomatoes. I just have a 2x3 here coming off my raised bed, and then I have a couple diagonal braces to support it, and then I have a 2x4 along the top with another corner brace to help support it. And then I just have these hooks that I attach to the 2x4, and then the ropes are attached to that. And then these raised beds here are 4 foot by 8 foot, and so this total structure here above it is about 16 feet long. And then I like to stain it brown to match with the woods around it to blend in. And so another nice thing too that I do here is I take a piece of wood. I used to use this method when I was camping, but you drill a hole the same diameter of the rope and tie a knot, and then you loop it up and hook it on, and then you drill another hole on the end of the wood and then run it through. And this way you can adjust. If you need more slack while you're twisting the rope around, you just simply loosen that, and you have more slack to twist it around your plant. So let me show you how I do that. But first, what you want to do with this rope method is you tie a knot at the base of your plant. When the plants are small, obviously, you tie a knot under the first branch. And then you can see here, I'm just twisting the rope around the plant as it grows and matures. And I waited to do this video till my plants were taller so it would be a better demonstration. So I have this plant here in front of me that needs to be supported. And so what I'm going to simply do is, so you can raise this off the string and then just take your string and wrap it around the plant. Being careful you don't break any of the branches or the leaf, as they call it. And also you want to be careful you don't damage the tomato truss. And then all I'm going to do is just take this and tighten it. And so you can see it just really easily supports the tomato plant. And so let me do another one here. And this string or rope that I'm using here is like a braided nylon. It's probably about 1/4 inch in diameter. You could probably go 1/8 inch diameter. That's really not that as important, but I just kind of used some scraps of string that I had around. And so I have here another tomato plant that needs to be supported. And so again, I'm going to just loosen this, pull down some extra string, and then simply just twist this around the plant. Again, this method for me is what I have found to be just the easiest way to support my tomatoes. Perhaps you have your favorite way, and I reuse these ropes year after year. And so about once a week I come out here and then support these. But it really does a great job supporting these tomatoes. And again, the indeterminate, that's what these are. These will continue to grow. Now, at the end of the season, probably in September, I may end up cutting or pruning off the leader of these plants so they don't grow any taller and up and over my support structure, the 2x4 along the top. So anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me today out here in the vegetable garden, and I hope this video maybe gave you some tips and ideas on how to support your indeterminate tomato plants. And if you have any questions or comments about this video, feel free to leave them in the section below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so you can receive future videos. And so anyhow, I just hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.